All right, YouTube. I have a crazy story to tell you today. First of all, like and subscribe, please. I have lots of crazy stories that have happened in my life, and this is one of them. So, this was back in college. And at my college, there were different parking lots that students can park in, but this happened in one of the far parking lots that's like way off campus. It's like 10-minute drive away, something like that. And so, like typically, the campus police doesn't really check out that spot too often compared to the rest of the parts of campus, since it's a little too remote. So, this is quite a big parking lot. I don't remember what time of the year this was. I don't exactly remember, but I think it might have been October or something like that of junior year of college. Um, so it was me and three friends that went to that parking lot one point. And I think we were just like smoking weed and stuff like that, just little hooligan stuff, hotboxing the car or whatever. So then we got out of the car to say hi to some friends one of my friends knew. So this other crew that we were interacting with uh, consisted of, I think it was three guys and one girl. And I don't remember all of their names at the time, but I'll tell you one of the guys' names that it has to do with the story. This guy's name is Shane, and this guy, um, well, first of all this crew, they were freshmen in college at the time. We were juniors, so when it comes to freshmen in college, some freshmen in college can be absolute savages with the choices they make, with the with with whatever they do. Um, they could be doing stuff to try to show off or act cool or make decisions that they don't realize at the time could be quite dangerous or potentially dangerous. So these kids, like I think one or two of them was like on acid, uh, and then the other two were like turned. One of them, Shane, was quite turned, and he asked one of our friends if he wanted to like race, and my friend obviously said like, "Oh no, no thanks" or whatever, which is a good idea. Like, why the hell would you do that in this big parking lot where there's certain other cars there, and I don't know, it's just a hazard in every type of way. Uh, and then he was like, "Oh, but would you want to like join in my car, uh, like for the ride?" And me and my friend said, "No, no thanks." So this kid Shane went in his car and started doing donuts in this parking lot, right? So we're chilling and vibing with the other three of this crew while Shane is just like swinging around in his car, nice, good car, doing donuts, right? And so he keeps on doing donuts. He's getting closer and closer to a street pole, right? Like a street pole that's in the parking lot. There's random like street lights or whatever that's in the parking lot. So next thing you know, he crashes hardcore into that street pole. We thought he died. We literally thought he died. But he then suddenly stumbled out of the car and was like, fuck, and looking at his car and like yelling and stuff like that. But here's the craziest part about no, there's a couple crazy parts about it. Here's one really crazy part about it. It like completely dented the whole passenger seat. So if anyone was in the passenger seat, they would be dead right now. Like literally dead. Or if he would have hit the driver's seat on the pole, he would have been dead. So that shows to you don't be doing donuts. This was a real close call. This was crazy. Don't be driving while intoxicated. That's another thing you should not do. Don't be it's not all fun and games to be driving in a car to race or this or that, you know what I mean? Cuz stuff like this can happen and then it can result in a like an actual hardcore tragedy. And a lot of people don't realize that car crashes is one of the leading causes in the US of dying. And I'm sure it is in most other countries. And it could be easily prevented in scenarios like this. You know what I mean? By not being silly. So thankfully, he and everyone ended up being okay. But right when that happens, one of my friends was like, "Oh, we gotta go." We didn't want to be remotely involved in that, so we got the hell out of there. Uh, but the other three friends were like, they were so casual, like, "Oh yeah, he's fine." Blah blah. This, like, what the hell? He literally, he almost died. You know what I mean? And there's this crazy situation. He crashed. Crazy, but my friend ended up finding out from that kid Shane another day that it turned out that that kid Shane got in no trouble at all, no legal trouble, no nothing. He got real lucky. What they did is they like waited a while till he sobered up, and then like called the campus police. And the campus police are state cops. So they were real lucky too that there was no like state cop that like happened to be there or happened to come soon after or whatever, uh, or anyone who witnessed that or ended up seeing that could have called the cops or whatever. You know what I mean? So, and on top of it, there was no damage to that pole somehow. So it's not like he had any fine or anything or any DUI or anything. He got real lucky. But think of that though too, is like when people get really lucky in those situations and they don't get like their really a lesson taught to them exactly, like a hardcore lesson or whatever. There's a lot of people who just don't learn from their mistakes like that. So I'm really hoping he learned from his mistake not to make real stupid decisions like that. There's other people out there who will continue to make those stupid decisions if they didn't get bad consequences like that. But I'm sure the car repairs was not a good time uh, at all. But yeah, that was a crazy story. So, more of the story: don't do donuts and be careful. You never know what can happen. But that I think is more so obvious that you could have prevented that. But yeah, thank you for listening. Check them out, other stories, like and subscribe. Bye bye.